What's up, everybody? A mouthful of sawdust. It's another day of processing this tree, getting a lot of these limbs cut down into 12 to 16 inch pieces. Yeah, hopefully I can get most of this all down into good size, manageable, I don't know what the hell you call them, logs. And probably go buy a Harbor Freight wood splitter again. I had one of those when I lived in Oregon. Pretty handy for like $120. So that's kind of just what's going on today. I think I gotta go buy a new battery for that tractor that I'm borrowing. Just one of those days. We went to the city building for sanitation to ask about where our septic might be. They had no clue. That was kind of expected. Then we went to the gas station to get gas, and as it so happens, the second you put a full tank of gas in a $2,000 car, it stops working. So I think that Toyota Sienna needs a battery as well. I could probably keep dicking with the tractor like they have been, but I think a battery is only like 130 bucks for it. So I'm gonna buy a battery for them and for me. It would be easier for everybody to use, and that's like the right thing to do when you borrow something from somebody. Give it back in better condition than you found it. So yeah, Leanne's, I doubt you could see her. She's over there by the ditch witch digging holes. We were gonna use the ditch witch for those, I can't think of what the hell they're called to save my life. Some type of desirable berry that everybody was buying during COVID. Anyways, we were gonna ditch witch it, and I started thinking, there's like this weird vent kind of in that area. I'm like, maybe our septic runs here, we shouldn't dig. So eventually I gotta crawl under our crawl space and see what direction the waste outlet from our house is pointed, so we have a general idea of where our septic is. Maybe I'll do a video of that. It kind of terrifies me. There's no snakes out right now. I hate snakes. And being under a house with snakes sounds even worse. It's got like this weird sandstone foundation with like these little, you know, like every 4 feet there's they look like CMU blocks. I think there's actually a couple stones under there too. That's probably why a lot of our house is sagging. So we'll have to jack up the foundation on that eventually, but I gotta crawl under there and find out where our waste is headed. Yay. But today I'm just gonna try to get the rest of this tree processed. Mostly when I get the tractor going, I might have to buy an attachment for the 3-point hitch that it comes up so I could drag these logs. I could skid them with the tractor. Because there's some good pieces in here, like these long straight ones that I would eventually like to get milled. So we'll see what happens with that. I might just turn this whole tree into firewood, and I can start that process another time. We have this whole wooded area right here. Let's go for a walk while I'm in the vlogging mood. We have this whole wooded area right here. We're gonna start not clear cutting it, but we're gonna cut out a lot. We're gonna cut out all the saplings in here. Maybe a few saplings will keep so they could grow into bigger trees. But there's like trees that are mature, and then there's trees that are on their way to being mature. So the saplings are just robbing the ones that are on their way to being mature of sunlight and water and nutrients. So we're gonna come through here. I'm probably actually gonna start from here and just work my way back. And eventually we'll start running pigs through this area to clear the ground. And then I wanna seed it, and we could start growing clover, or I don't know. It depends on what kind of animals we plan on running through here after the pigs. But there's another fallen tree there that I'll cut and drag out with a tractor. And I gotta figure out a place to, I wanna get an Alaskan sawmill. Maybe I can cut some timbers myself. I told myself I was gonna build 2 timber frame structures on our property in 2022. So these might be the start of that. Leanne wants a greenhouse, and I think we need a woodshed. So that would be cool little projects to do with timbers. But yeah, it would just be real nice. You could see this is really overgrown. You're not really getting through there. We want to be able to walk through our woods and not just have them overgrown and overtaken. I mean, you got vines that grow up these trees and literally kill the tree, and then the vine is thriving and the tree's dead. So pigs will help with keeping the honeysuckle and the berries and all the thorny stuff down. We can help with the chainsaw and a mulcher by starting the process of just clearing the stuff out. Yeah. So on this other pasture, we have this real pretty clearing back here. We were kind of thinking might be neat to do an Airbnb or something. I don't know how much. Actually, there's quite a few in this area. But we're thinking about doing like a wall tent back here with just a little wood burning stove and some antique furniture in there. Might look neat. As long as it looks good in photos, people will rent it, and any kind of income we can generate on our property is good. So like this whole area, we're gonna cut all these trees down besides this one white oak right here. That will stay, and it would look really pretty in here with just one tree in the middle of the clearing. We're not really gonna clear this because we want to keep that house not to where they can't see us and we can't see them. I'm gonna clear, those are all evergreens. I'm probably gonna cut 2 of those down and let 2 stay. But yeah, we're gonna start clearing our land. That's why I gotta buy a battery for that tractor. I'm tired of trying to jump start it with my van. My van's battery's dead, so it doesn't have enough cold cranking amps to crank that cold tractor. The tractor's battery's dead. It has enough if you leave it on a charger all night, which I could just get a charger, but I might as well buy a battery so it's operational the way it should be. Yeah, so that's kind of what's going on today. It's a shit show. AAA coming out and giving me a jump. I thought I was about to get towed, actually. We went to the USDA office and got to speak to somebody there. We actually have a farm number, so we got to give the USDA, show them our deed that we bought the property, and give them mine and Leanne's social security numbers, and then we'll be a registered farm. We'll have a number until we come up with a name. If you have any names, suggest them in the comments. Yeah, in Kentucky, we could file for tax exemption status for everything that we buy farm related. So everything that I'm doing right now. A new chainsaw would be cool to have. All the feed we're buying for the chickens and the dogs. Fencing, seed, all the plants she's planting. It'd be nice to be able to be recognized as a farm. Because our end goal is to make money off of this. Like, not just a hobby farm. I mean, I love what I'm doing right now. It kind of bothers me thinking about having to go get a real job. I know everybody that's listening to this is probably like, boo-hoo. But I don't know, if I could sell firewood and make money, and we could have some chicken tractors through here and sell meat birds. I could run pigs through our forest. If I could sell pork, poultry, and firewood, if that paid the bills on top of you guys, I really love YouTube to be my... All right, back from the auto parts store. Missing a battery, got a brand new battery. It's $120 with a veteran discount, so that's not bad. That's a good trade. I don't feel like I got robbed and I get to help them out with their tractor. There's my audience. They don't shut up. So after this, get the tractor fired up. I think I'm gonna check the alternator with my multimeter, make sure it's putting out, I don't know, 13 or 14 volts. Then I know the charging system's doing what it should, and this thing should be ready to rip. So let's get to work. Oh my God, fucking heavy bastard. belt issue struck again. So maybe I should figure out how to tighten this up. Right here, actually, it's slotted, so I can just slide it backwards. I'll have to do that when I get back and I have my tools. I'll also check the voltage output from the alternator. But this happened twice, so hopefully I can get through the rest of that pile without this issue happening again. But get to it, keep on rolling. All right, just kidding. I tried to put this little tiny piece inside of there and the belt jumped off. So go get a socket set and we'll get this thing fixed up right. We're sneaking up on Leanne planting her garden. She's going to get some mulch. Here's her helpers. Waylon, give me the stick. Come on, drop it. Maggie, say hi. Say hi. How's your good girl? He's a good girl. She got in the trash can today. What's up, babe?
Cleaning the last elderberry.
Yeah.
And moving on to the gooseberries.
More berries.
Blueberries.
Oops, all berries.
Exactly.
Ducks. Goose is... Hopefully she gets all that in the ground. Yeah. Let's find us some tools. Oh, shitty Harbor Freight wrench set. And some Matco Silver Ego socket set. Great combination. All right, I'm gonna get this chipper fixed, get back to work. Got some tools. I almost forgot the golden tool. It's hard to tighten up a belt on a piece of equipment if you don't have a pry bar. That would have sucked without that. Fun fact about Kyle. I used to be a diesel mechanic in the Marine Corps. I wouldn't call it much of a mechanic because we didn't really fix anything. It was more oil changes. But when I was a kid, I used to want to be a mechanic. I just like cars and shit. But the military ruined that for me. So now I just tinker on my own stuff. And if I had the money, I'd pay somebody to do it. Sorry if I'm not an optimist. But it's kind of like the cool thing I think about farming or having a farm is you get to do it all. Be an electrician, a carpenter, a mechanic. You know, that's how you save money and you get by in life. This actually feels tight. Let's see. I must have owned some Japanese cars because I've never even opened up this set. What is that? 9/16. Half inch. Everything on this is half inch. I'm gonna have to get like a, I don't know, I need to get my tools together for fixing stuff out in the field out here. got like rollaway toolboxes. I need like a quad with a toolbox, but I ain't got money for that, and that's the trick that they trick you with. They sell you that shit, and then you got to keep a job, and you can't do what you want to do because you're paying for this crap that you didn't need to begin with. At least that's my logic. That's how we sold everything and tried to pay off our debts and come out here, because I want to do this. I don't want to pay the bank money. I mean, I guess I could use it, but if I don't need it, come on. What am I gonna pry off of? I got leverage there. What can I pry backwards off of? YouTube, help. Comment. What can I pry backwards off of? Oh, the belt is definitely tighter than it was. Maybe we'll just cheat it over to this one corner. And then ideally I could finish my day. Waylon, son. What up, dog? Alright, there we go. That's a tight squeeze. Yeah, today, man, I knew it was gonna be screwed up. We went into town to get our farm ID number, and the freaking battery in my van died. Had to get jumped. Went to another city building. They're open like 1 hour a day. The sanitation district or the health, I don't know, the health center. Tractor wouldn't start, so we got battery for that. I'm glad I did, because it fires up every time now. Great. Tomorrow morning will really be a test to see how it does. If I can do it without starting fluid, just because it's a diesel, right? So when it's cranking, it's creating compression, and that creates friction and heat, and it ignites the diesel. I don't think this tractor has glow plugs, so we'll see. I mean, it's definitely time for a new battery. It's time for a new battery for the tractor, so I'm glad I could do that. Kind of pull my weight and contribute to the folks that are letting me borrow their equipment. It's the least I can do. But now hopefully this belt stays on this chipper so I could finish my job. But we're getting there. That belt, a little bit of tension, that worked out great. It chopped up the rest of all that brush. So we're good from there. Now I just got to figure out what size logs we want to keep for burning and then chopping up and everything. Thinking small stuff like this, like 2 to 3 inches, maybe even up to 4 inches. I'll probably throw in the burn pile and then keep the bigger stuff for splitting later on. I gotta start pulling this shit out of here. Yeah, so we're cruising along. This tree's taking a lot longer than I thought. I could imagine how having a day job and then having a tree fall on your property and wanting it cleared, that would take up a whole weekend, maybe 2 weekends of your time. So my hat's off to you guys that are doing that on your property. Right now I have nothing to do in between work, so this is my work. But yeah, it's fun work. I'm enjoying it. Getting to clean up the property. This will be a nice clearing, open area. I think seasonally, there's like a little trench right there in between those 2 hill slopes. It drains down into there. So yeah, check out all this mulch we got. About twice as much as yesterday. That's good stuff right there. But on the scale of what we want to do with maybe for creating compost or for pigs, I need a bigger wood chipper and a lot of time. But this is a start. It's kind of eye-opening. I get an idea of how long it takes to do stuff, and yeah. So I'm gonna use a tractor, take a bucket over there, load it up, start putting it down there. Take the bucket down here so I can just toss the rounds in it, and then find a place to store that. Our burn pile's looking pretty good. We'll have to do a video of that going up in flames and hopefully not burning that barn down in the process. You know? Just barely fits in this carport. It's pretty handy. Oh yeah. Check the voltage of the battery, make sure it's charging. Gotta go out to the work truck. That's gonna be a running joke on this channel until this thing dies. Maggie. Maggie, say hello. Waylon son. There's a dog. I want to drop the bucket on the puppy. Alright. So, let's get in here. We got DC 20. So 12.6. I think alternators or generators or whatever are supposed to charge a little higher than that, so maybe it was an alternator problem. Yeah, I know car charges are like 13.5 volts. That's a starter. Maybe it's a starter and a generator. I don't know. I don't know anything about this tractor or tractors in general. Let's see where this is the positive. That big fucker goes down to the starter. I don't know. That may not be any help to anybody without a service manual. I don't even have internet out here. That makes it hard to figure anything out. Something to worry about in the future, I guess. Adios, everybody. Take it easy.